Hi, and welcome to C-Squared Artistry. Today I'm going to be sharing on a topic that is really near and dear to me. It's a character trait that I have been focusing on since the beginning of this year. And let me tell you, it can be so hard, but I know it is so worth it. And this is the character trait of contentment, meaning that you are fully satisfied, being fully satisfied. And the blog that I wrote that coincides with this particular video is called, Are You Content with Your Content? Am I content, at peace with, fully satisfied with my content, with your content? So I'm going to break that down, and I want you guys to be sure to comment because this is a really important conversation. We live in a world of social media, and it can be a great thing, but it can also be really detrimental if you do not have the character trait of contentment. So I was reading a book earlier this year, and I actually posted a recent video, kind of more of my vlog video. If you haven't watched it, please be sure to watch it. But I was recently reading a book called The Resolution for Women by Priscilla Shirer. And one of the very first chapters, she talks about contentment. This is something that I personally have struggled with from the perspective of not necessarily looking at everybody else and wanting what they have, because I enjoy what I have and I know what I'm capable of, but more so not really living in the moment. Not really taking that moment to breathe, to enjoy the season. I know that a lot of people who are single often hear this, friends of mine who are single, and I remember when I was single, women who were married would always say, like, enjoy this season. And when you're in a place that you are kind of over and you want to move into the next phase of your life, it's really hard to stay content, to be content, and to enjoy the present. One of my favorite quotes is by Eleanor Roosevelt that says, "Yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift, that's why we call it present." And I have taken a hold of that quote. Contentment means living in the present. It doesn't mean that you no longer try. It doesn't mean that you don't work towards your goal. It doesn't mean that you live in a place of apathy. And it certainly doesn't mean that you're living in a place of envy, of jealousy, or striving to have what other people have. It means being fully satisfied with who God has made you, with what He has provided for you in this very season of life. Priscilla Shirer said it's something like this: if you want it and you don't have it, it may be that you just don't need it. That is a hard pill to swallow. And don't get me wrong, I think when she says that, she's not speaking to the fact that they may not be good for you. What I believe she's speaking to is the point that God's provision for you and His grace for you overflows, meaning you will have all that you need. And it's possible that if you don't have it right now, maybe you don't need it right now. Here's the thing. I love this idea and this truth that yesterday is history. It will never happen again. It will never happen again. Today is a gift. This is the only time that you will ever have this day. This day will never exist again, and neither will tomorrow's. So if we stay in this place of jealousy, of envy, of discontentment, then it would be really hard for us to enjoy the present. Let's not let our days go by looking in the past, wishing we were back where we were, or longing for the future to the point where you're distracted and your desires and your drive is now mastering you, where you can't enjoy what you have right before your eyes. And like I said, living in a world of social media doesn't make it any easier. And if you read my blog, you'll see more of what I mean by that and my personal take on it. But I want you guys to just know that right here, right now, this moment will never, ever exist again. And that's how big our God is. That He can be so specific to the point that nothing repeats itself. Have you ever thought about, your wardrobe? And it's pretty cool now that we have Pinterest, i.e. social media, and we can get all these ideas, how to rearrange your wardrobe so that you have X amount of outfits for, a month using 5 articles of clothing, right? Crazy stuff like that. With God, nothing is ever repeated. No day is ever repeated, more specifically. No day is ever repeated. And that is so amazing. So I want to live in a place of contentment. I want to enjoy where I'm at. And I still want to have dreams and pursue those dreams. But I'm not going to let that be the master of my present. I cannot let my pursuit be the master of my present. And I don't want that for you guys either. So let's just move into this place where we can gradually grow to a place of contentment. It's not easy. It takes practice, just like everything else. Paul said in the Bible that he learned how to be content. It's a learned character trait. So I hope that was encouraging to you guys. I'm just in this place of like, okay, let's move to a new level in our character and the way that we think. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, please leave me your comments. Let me know what you do to be more content, or maybe what are some of the really big challenges that are prohibiting you from living a lifestyle of contentment. And let's talk about it, because I want you guys to be able to go deep and for us to really have meaningful conversation about topics that impact your life on an everyday basis. So thanks again for watching, and be sure to visit the blog if you have not visited that, as well as check out my recent video when I mentioned a little bit about contentment, to hear some of my story and some places that I struggle in that topic. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.